and finally Appalachian State are all of the bye teams for week 4. And how we like to start our quick picks is with our top 25. This is week 4's top 25 here at your Sports Outpost. So let's look at those teams and who they are playing to begin this section. Let's start with that top left corner. That's Oregon State taking on Oregon. The Civil War is what that is technically called. I think they stopped calling it back in 2020 for some reason. Regardless, we're going to still call it the Civil War because that's what we like to do here. Call things what they actually are. These two teams, they still don't like each other, as it's the 129th meeting between the two. Minus 35 is the line in favor of the Ducks. That is crazy stuff. That might actually hold. And yeah, Oregon probably covers. We're definitely going with the Ducks. I just thought that line was just, you got to pay attention to things like that. That's crazy. Another one that's a pretty interesting line, that's Texas versus Sam Houston State. That's the next one. Minus 39.5 for the Longhorns. I think that's one they can actually cover, to be quite honest with you. Sam Houston State, they've kind of fallen apart since week 1, but they also haven't technically won a game this year. I think their best outing was against Western Michigan. And if I'm not mistaken, they're also without their starting quarterback, and why I think the 39.5 points is where Texas actually covers. We talked about this game in our previews. Illinois versus Indiana. We're taking the road team there in that top 25 matchup. Just like Luke Altmaier in that defense, Brett Bielema is a top tier head coach here at the collegiate level as well. So that's why we're going with them there. Southeastern Louisiana heads over to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. We are obviously going with the Bayou Bengals. That one is a easy slam dunk. As this one, maybe it isn't. It is an unranked Florida team. We do understand that. They just lost to LSU the week before. They lost to USF at home. They're on the road in Miami. Or, I guess, Florida bragging rights. That's kind of a thing between these programs over there. We're going to go with Miami. We won with them last week here on the show. I think in my pick'ems, I went USF because I just wanted to be trying to gain some kind of lead over there, and it looks like I hurt myself because I had a pretty bad week. But again, we're going to go Hurricanes. But wouldn't it be fun if the Gators won? I don't think so. Looks like they're going to have a really, really rough start to their season so far. BYU comes back from their bye week, and they're on the road against East Carolina. Both of these teams are top 10 in run defense. One of these teams is for sure not going to be in the top 10, and I think that's going to be the Pirates. We're going to go Provo Cougs on the road there, as Bear Bachmeier gets another week to learn that BYU offense. As we continue, we got Ole Miss versus Tulane. This is a toughie. Another one, again, I've been flipping back and forth with this week. Minus 13 in favor of Ole Miss. And I think we have to kind of go with that. I don't think it's going to be minus 13. I don't think they're going to cover that whatsoever. I think Tulane's going to put up a really, really good fight. But boy, I would actually be pretty happy if the Green Wave can, again, pull off this upset on the road. It's a top 25 matchup here at your Sports Outpost as well. One that we just previewed in the beginning of the stream if you're interested in getting to know a little bit more about that matchup. Florida State is hosting Kent State. That's going to be a blowout. I don't know the line on it, but I'm guessing Florida State should cover. And yeah, let's keep moving to UAB versus Tennessee. Let's go Volunteers. That's a slam dunk, I think. UAB has not been good so far this season. Texas Tech plays Utah. Another one we previewed earlier in the stream. We're going to go Utes. If you want to know a little bit more why, you can check that out. Also, we put up clips over on our clip channel and on our clip channel over on YT. Missouri versus South Carolina. Toughie. This is a toughie because I want the Gamecocks to win. but also I want Missouri to win. I like both teams. I like both head coaches. They've really grown on me. But we're going to go with, again, the team out of Columbia, Missouri, and that's Tigers. I thought this game would have been bigger, especially if South Carolina got the dub against Vandy last week. But they lose Lenore Sellers for I don't know how long. Hopefully, maybe he comes back this week, but he's definitely not going to be 100%. It was kind of a nasty hit that he took this past weekend when he went up against the Commodores. Another one we previewed, and that's Auburn versus Oklahoma. We're going to take the road team. Again, if you want to know a little bit more, beginning of the stream or on our clips channels. Georgia State heads over to Nashville to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores, the team that got the best of them when they hosted the Commodores last season in Atlanta. It was a very surprising scoreline. I was pretty livid last year when these two went at it, because I was like, Vandy, we're going Vandy, like we're going Vandy now, and they disappointed us, which was a big surprise because I think the next week or 2 weeks after they beat Alabama in that generational win. So let's go Vandy, as they should be beating Georgia State by a lot of points. Georgia Tech hosts Temple. Temple got blown out by Oklahoma, so this is kind of a good gauge to see where Georgia Tech is in terms of, top 25 teams. They had a big win, breaking the streak against Clemson last week at home. They probably continue winning here again against the Owls that come to town. USF, who's still in the top 25, we kept them there. I know they got pretty rattled against Miami, but they have 2 quality wins, we think, and that's why we keep them there at 25. They play against South Carolina State. They should be beating the crap out of that FCS opponent. And those are our top 25 teams. Not a lot here in that section, but some pretty good games, especially in the top 25 that meet each other. There's 3 of them there.